This morning, we're learning more about the children and teachers killed in the elementary school shooting in Uvalde, Texas. A fourth grader who survived shares his experience from inside the classroom. And a heartbreaker for the Avs in overtime means there will be a Game 6 in St. Louis after all. We have post-game reaction just ahead on 9 News Mornings.
And this morning, we know more names of the 19 children killed in Uvalde, Texas. All of the students were shot and killed in the same fourth grade classroom.
In a few minutes, we're going to hear from one fourth grade student who survived that shooting, was inside of that classroom, hiding under a covered desk when the gunman opened fire. We're going to tell you now what he says may be hard to hear.
Can't even imagine. But first, let's get a quick check of weather and traffic with Ed and Erica. Good morning, Ed.
Good morning. Yesterday, 71 degrees. Today will be 81 degrees. Tomorrow, even warmer as we approach that 90-degree mark. Mostly clear skies right now. We've got 42 degrees, so pretty nice morning going on. Here's the one system leaving, new system coming our way, but we're right in between today, so plenty of sunshine to go around. That will change as the afternoon goes on. More clouds move into the west, a few scattered over the metro area, and then tomorrow, some of those showers and thunderstorms from those clouds. So here's the way the forecast goes. 81 degrees today, fair and warmer. Even warmer tomorrow at 88 degrees with maybe an isolated storm. On your Saturday, cloudy skies, 87. Sunday, a little bit cooler, but still pretty nice with an isolated storm. And more of the same for your holiday Monday.
Ed, thank you so much. We want to show you the drive out here from our CDOT camera. Coming toward us are eastbound I-70 lanes at 270. Really light volume in the eastbound and westbound side of the interstate there. And we're starting things off this Thursday morning quiet for you. A look at our map here across the metro area just showing green. No major problems to slow you down. Westbound 76 drive into Commerce City from E470 is a quick 10 minutes. So no problems to report there. Southbound I-25 drive between I-70 and Santa Fe Drive is 5 minutes right now as well. One more travel time for you here. I-25 between downtown and the Denver Tech Center. Right now that drive both ways is 14 minutes.
And then he came in and he crouched a little bit and he said it's time to die.
First-hand account comes from a fourth grade student who was inside the classroom where a gunman killed 19 of his classmates. His parents didn't want him to do the on-camera interview, but he wanted to share his experience.
I was hiding hard and I was telling my friend to not talk because he's gonna hear us. The cop said, "Help if you need help," and then one of the persons in my class said, "Help." The guy overheard and he came in and shot her.
Oh my gosh. He says the two teachers who died in the shooting saved some of the students' lives by getting in front of them.
Vigils are being held across Texas for the victims of the shooting. And as you just heard from that fourth grader, this experience has been especially tough for the kids who lost their friends.
I lost friends too, and it kind of shook me because I talked to one on Monday.
Jorge attended school with one of the children last year, which was Jose Flores. He used to go to the rodeos when you were in youth rodeo, right? Yeah, we'd share times at the rodeos.
We are also hearing from some of the parents of the children who died in the shooting. Their main goal moving forward is to honor the children's legacy and make sure they are never forgotten.
I just want to honor her name. I just want her to be remembered as the type of person that she was, and not just permanently mark or stain her name with the tragedy that happened.
I'm gonna have to buy that dress, the one that she wanted, and we're gonna hang it up in her quinceañera whenever the time comes. Hang it both up there, so she's never gonna be forgotten. She's a big part of our family.
Savannah Guthrie will have extensive interviews with both fathers later this morning on the Today Show.
No matter how far we are from Texas, this hits close to home for parents. Jane Woodyard is one of those parents. She's also the executive director of Illuminate Colorado, a nonprofit that helps parents be parents, especially on the darkest days.
Parents don't have to be perfect. They don't have to be superheroes. We just have to be real. And I think being able to process and talk to others and kind of deal with your emotions and check in with yourself and kind of center yourself before you go into that conversation with your kids will help you as a parent, will help all parents to show up how they want to.
Illuminate has 34 parent support groups called Circle of Parents. We have information about them on 9news.com.
Over the next 2 weeks, there will be more patrols around DPS schools. The district stresses this is all just a precaution. It said it has an organized and robust emergency plan in place.
In the days following traumatic events, Colorado Crisis Services gets a lot of calls. For a long time, people would use terms like unimaginable or it won't happen to me. Those terms are not heard much anymore at the crisis hotline.
The shift that we also hear on the crisis line is it's not unbelievable anymore. And that in and of itself sort of brings up a new kind of crisis for folks, right? For us to be able to admit out loud that this is a potential.
Counselors are on the other line. They are available 24/7. If you need somebody to talk to, call them. The number is 844-493-8255. Counselors try and reframe fears by focusing on what communities are doing to keep people safe.
In a little more than a month, a bill cracking down on fentanyl possession will take effect. Governor Polis signed that bill yesterday. 9 News reporter Darius Johnson is live at the Capitol this morning. And Darius, this was pretty personal for a lot of families.
Yeah, good morning, Corey. This is something that we've been talking about for months. Not only that, it's also something that many of these families have been talking about and also pushing for, both in honor and in memory of their loved ones. One of those is the family of Karina Rodriguez, a sister and a mother lost to a fentanyl poisoning in Commerce City in February. Officials believe Karina and 4 others who died didn't know their cocaine was laced with fentanyl that night. It's why for the last couple of months, her sister and others have been working to use their voice at the Colorado State Capitol, pushing for this fentanyl law. This law is meant to strengthen penalties against those who distribute this drug. And the hope is to keep more families from dealing with what they call a poisoning, not an overdose.
Too many of the families that we've met have been their situations have been very similar to ours, where they had no idea that this was going to happen. They never would have chosen to do this, and chosen to take something so lethal and so terrible.
Not only is this family, this sister, taking action right here at the Capitol by speaking about this bill and speaking out, sharing their story, she's doing that in public as well. Whenever she goes out, she says she goes to restaurants and she asks if she can leave fentanyl testing strips in the restroom, because it's one of those situations when we'll never know when you might need it. Corey, coming up at 5:30, I'll dive into this bill and the details of it a little bit more.
All right, Darius, I know we've been talking about this for so long, as you mentioned, for months now. And 9 News has done several stories on the fentanyl crisis here in Colorado. You can find all of our coverage on our 9 News app, and it is free to download.